Okay, good morning, class. How have you been today?
Good
We're
morning,
good,
ma'am. We're good,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Good, ma'am.
Great,
Good
thank
morning,
you.
ma'am.
Okay, thank
Good,
you.
good.
And now I'm going to read to you a story, and after I'm going to ask you questions which you are going to answer personally. Okay? Now let's proceed to our activity, reading the story of the three little pigs. Okay, the three little pigs. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs, and the time came for them to leave home and seek their fortunes. Therefore, they left. Their mother told them, "Whatever you do it the best that you can, because that's the only way to get along the world." The first little pig built his house out of straw because it was the easiest thing to do. The second pig built his house out of sticks. This was a little bit stronger than a straw house. The third little pig built his house out of bricks. One night, the big bad wolf, who clearly loved to eat fat little piggies, came along and saw the first little pig in his house of straw. He said, let me in, little pig, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." "Not, not by the hair of my chinny chin, said the little pig. But of course the wolf blew the house in and ate the first little pig. The wolf then came to the house out of sticks. Let me in, little pig, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." "Not by the hair of my chinny chin, said the little pig. But the wolf blew the house into and ate the second little pig. The wolf then came to the house of bricks. Let me in, cried the wolf, "or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." "Not by the hair of my chinny chin, said the little pig. Well, the wolf huffed and puffed, but he could not blow down the brick house. But the wolf was a sly old wolf and climbed out of the roof to look for a way into the brick house. The little pig saw the wolf climb out of the roof and lit a roaring fire in the fireplace and placed it on a large kettle of water. When the wolf finally found a hole in its chimney, he crawled down and splashed right into the kettle of water, and was the end of his troubles with the big bad wolf. The next day, the little pig invited his mother over. She said, "You see, it is just as I told you. The way to get along the world is to do things as well as you can." Fortunately for the little pig, he learned that lesson, and he just lived happily ever after. Okay, that ends the story of the three little pigs. Now let me ask you these questions. Okay, number one, what was the story all about? Can anyone share
Can I,
your...
ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Armendarez.
Okay, the story is all about the three little pigs. It's a fable about three pigs who build three houses of different materials. And then a big bad wall blows down the first two pigs' houses made of straw and sticks respectively, and but unable to destroy the third pig's house made of bricks. And because of the wolf's arrogance, he fell into the chimney with the boiling water and died.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Armendarez. Now, question number two, how does the houses of the three little pigs differ from one another?
Canal,
Can
Passion,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, Pasha.
All right, so they differ from each other because the first house was only built out of straw, while the second house was built out of bricks, and lastly, the third house was built with bricks. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. That's correct. And okay, number three, how might you have built your house if you were one of the pigs and you wanted to protect yourself against the wolf? Anyone?
Kanyal, ma'am, may I?
Yes, Mr. Kanyal.
So if I were one of the pigs, I would build my house out of steel. Steel is notoriously difficult to pull apart. Hence, it is high strength that it why that's why it would be so hard for the wolf to blow it up, ma'am. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much. How about another answer?
Sambalod, ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Sambalod.
For me, ma'am, I think I would probably build my house the same as how the third pig built his house. And because just like in the story, the house can withstand the blows of the wolf. If it were for me, I'd also build a house with bricks.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sambalod. Now, let me ask you another question. How do you think the little pigs felt about living home?
Can
Anyone?
I, Ma'am Gruyal?
Yes, Miss Gruyal.
So based on the story, I think that pigs felt that they can be able to survive on their own and that life outside of your comfort zone is not just easy, especially with the first and second pigs.
Uh, Okay, thank you so much. Yes, it was not easy because they have some challenges to face outside the world. So how about another question? Why do you think the mother pig sent the little pigs out into the world by themselves?
Me, Ma'am Acena.
Yes, Mr. Ken.
Pacia, ma'am, may I?
Mr. Acena, I guess you are the first to.
Okay, Ma'am. So based on my understanding, I think this because the mother is too old to supply the needs of the three little pigs and that she thinks that they are already ready and equipped to go out into the world on their own, Ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. That is a nice answer, of course. How about another question? In your current state and conditions, do you think that you can now be able to go out into the world by yourself? Anyone?
Kanya, ma, may
Any?
I?
Yes, Mr. Kanyal.
So in my current state, I don't think that I could be able to go out in my world by myself because like I still need the company of my friends, especially my family. So that's why I really need to strive harder and work harder to be more independent to face the world with no with my own self. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. How about another answer?
May I?
Yes, Sambalot.
Arquion, ma'am, Arquion.
Mr. Arquion, I'm sorry.
Well, as for me, ma'am, I think if we talk about going out into the world with yourself, I think I can be able to do it. But if we were to talk about surviving on your own, I think I still need the guidance and the support of my family. That would be all.
Okay, thank you so much. Of course, we also still need the support of our family. Another answer, do you have anything? Another perception? Nothing,
May I,
na?
ma'am?
Yes, Miss.
Um, for me, as of my current state and condition, I think I can be able to go out into the world by myself since I think I was born independent. I'm not independent. I was born ready. You know, when I go out, I think I can do things that I wanted to, even though without the help of my parents, you know, something like that,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank
Yes, that's it.
you so much. That was a brave answer that you can survive on your own. Okay, good luck, Miss Sarim. So now let me ask you another question. So what lesson can you get from the story that you can relate to your everyday life? Anyone?
May I, ma'am?
Yes.
Um, I have learned that hard work really pays off. The first two pigs quickly built homes in order to have more free time to play. But the third pig labored in the construction of his house of bricks compared to other two pigs. The third pig's extra effort paid off in the end. And I can relate to this because as a student, I put so much work and effort on my studies, and even though it still has a small progress, I still believe that my efforts will pay off in the future, and I can be able to continue my journey to success.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Sarim. Another answer. What lesson can you get from the story?
Sambalod.
Yes, Mr. Sambalod.
For me, ma'am, the lesson I have gained from the story is that you have to know your limits. Because in the story, the big bad wolf thought he was invincible. His bravado and ego were boosted by his early successes. He easily blew down the house of straws and the house of sticks, though a little harder to blow down, was still no match for his lungs. But when he came across the house of bricks, he fell short. He had failed to assess the situation properly and therefore used his resources up on trying to do the impossible. And I can relate to this because sometimes I tend to get ahead of myself and I can always handle things in life. And I tend to forget that I still have a lot to grow, that I still have limitations. And I tend to forget that if we go beyond our limitations, there's a big possibility that bad things may happen. That is why for me, it's really important to know that we are still learning and growing, that we need to be aware of our limitations. That's all, mom.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, we need to be aware of our limitations. Okay, another lesson that you can get from the story. Anyone?
Me, ma'am, I would like to try.
Yes, Mr. Acena.
Okay, ma'am. So, well, for me, the lesson I think best relates to is to be patient. The third little pig is nothing if not patient. If there's no patience, somewhat unrecognized virtue in leadership, building a career, company relationship, or in the case of the protagonist, a house takes time. In his wisdom, the third little pig was deliberate and patient, and his reward for his patience was to get away with his life. And in our life, we need to be patient. We must and should know how to wait because in life we can't really get things we want easily, and we just need to continue our journey even if the progress is slow, because in God's perfect time we'll get there. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Acena. So that's all for our lesson for today, and I'm very thankful for sharing your experiences, opinions, and feelings with regards to this literature. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. That would be all. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you,
Let me
Thank you,
know.
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
Goodbye.
so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.